Hi, how's it going, friends? I'm Darkoburi, the collector, and today we're gonna do the unboxing of the next generation of Xbox consoles. For this occasion, in today's video, we're going to unbox the Xbox Series X. If we remember, the previous generation that came out around 2013 was the Xbox One, and then slightly more advanced versions were released like the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S. So now, the creative team just added series to the name and called it a day. But I have a dilemma. Who is more creative? PlayStation, where they just keep adding a number, those at Xbox who just added series, or Nintendo who actually completely changed the name to Nintendo Switch. In my opinion, Nintendo does a slightly better job with the names because they actually changed them up. Xbox has just kept going like that with the arcade version, then the Xbox 360, and then the Xbox One, and now it's the Xbox Series X. So let us know in the comments which of the names you like best. But remember, we're talking about the names, not the consoles. We'll argue about the consoles later. If you remember last week, here we have the video about the PlayStation 5. So now we're gonna have this one, and we're gonna do a quick review of the box before moving on to what really interests us, which is checking out this next generation console. Now, just like with the PS5, this is a true generational leap and is going to bring some amazing games. Some of these games can be shared between Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, and others. For example, like the one shown here on the back of the box, just take a look. Halo, which is exclusive to Xbox, so we're gonna have it on this console, and we're already looking forward to it with great excitement. Now, let's review the box so we can then do the mega unboxing of this new console, which I also pre-ordered. Right now, neither of the two consoles, the PlayStation or the Xbox, are available for general public sale. If you weren't able to get one, we'll have to wait a little closer to Christmas because that's when the consoles will be released. If you don't have it, unfortunately you can't get it right now. It was only available through pre-order. So stay with us for this Mega Geek unboxing of the Xbox. Here, on the front of the box, as you can see, we have the console and the characteristic green color of Xbox. We've seen that the buttons that turn the consoles on and off were usually in this color. So here we have the name Xbox Series X. If you notice, it doesn't have the registered trademark symbol, which we did see on PlayStation. So the first difference between the boxes is that here it doesn't say registered trademark, so pay close attention to that. That's why we're doing a review of the box. Here is the power button of the console itself, and it works in 4K at 120 frames per second, and it has 1 terabyte of storage. Here we have the capacity, and this console does have the option to expand the memory. So when we look at it in detail in a moment, we'll see that specifically. Here, the console is shown standing up with the controller. Again, the name, the logo, 1 terabyte. Remember, the PlayStation console said it had a little less than a terabyte. And they've already done the comparison of the actual storage space each one has. Here we have Master Chief from Halo with all the adventures. In the latest one where he's stranded on the planet and you have to survive for quite a while until you get killed. I didn't know that, and I just kept killing, and I lasted a long time, and then suddenly I got killed. And that's when the game ended, when you got killed, which I didn't know. Here it says, power your dreams. If you have Game Pass, you should use it. They give you more than 100 free games. Here, the people at Liverpool did me the favor of leaving the price tag on the console. You just have to be careful. Look, this is the price we have, 14,000 pesos, so to speak, as a flat rate. But right now, in resale, because of what I was telling you, that there aren't any available for regular sales and prices, go as high as 40,000 pesos. If you're really that desperate to play, you'd actually pay that much. Here's the real price, so be very careful with that. And on the top part of the box, the console appears again. And on the bottom part, you only have all the information here and the classic green color. Down here at the bottom, we just see the Microsoft logo. Let's not forget that Microsoft is the one helping us out. For example, I have my Hotmail account linked to all my purchases. And once when my kids were playing on the Xbox One, I had purchases open and I started getting purchase notifications in my Hotmail. So I removed it and set it up with a password. So be very careful because with your Microsoft account, you can make all your online purchases, which is also another great feature. I'm at the office working, a new game comes out, I buy it digitally and tell it to download automatically to the console. And when I get home, the game is already downloaded. So kudos to Microsoft, the integration across their entire platform is fantastic. All right, now let's go ahead and do the unboxing of the box. For this occasion, I brought a special Spyderco knife that was recommended to me by my friend and buddy Andres Yaques to cut the seal. It was a seal that said it could be lifted. If you look closely, I'll show you up close in a moment so you can see it. Here it says that it can be lifted, but since I don't want to ruin the paint on the box, it's better if we just make the cut. And I've always told you this, and I'll say it again. If you're underage, please ask your parents for help with this task, because we don't want you to get hurt. So now, we're ready. And whenever you finish using any sharp object, put it away. We don't want any accidents. We always want the best for you and your safety. And now, let's get to the magical moment we've been waiting for. Honestly, I bought this. It arrived about 7 or 8 days ago, and I've been waiting to do the unboxing with you. I haven't seen it yet. So let's magically do the unboxing right here. And the first thing we're gonna have, which we'll take out very carefully, is the console. Let's put it here in front of you so you can see it. But let's see what else is inside. Here we have, let's take out some cables. I'll show them to you in a moment. The manuals, warranty policies, all the important papers you should review for legal matters. The controller and a pamphlet. We can already see the controller here and the power cable. Now we see that the box is empty. It's completely empty, but our Xbox came perfectly protected and cushioned inside. Very different, if you remember, from the PlayStation 5 box, which was a box and then another box. And inside that box was the console and a small box for the accessories. Here are all the accessories. First of all, our high-speed HDMI cable to connect our console to the TV. I highly recommend that you use the product that comes inside the box. It might seem obvious, but there are people who sometimes don't do it. Why? Because this one is designed to transmit all your games at high speed. Here's the power cable. It's a bit short, which makes it easier to connect to any power socket. Here are the instructions. If you don't know how to put batteries in the controller, well, everyone who's ever had a console has already dealt with that. Warranty policies, the manual, getting started guide. Let's set this aside and quickly do the unboxing of the controller to take it out and see what it's like. Here's the controller and here are the batteries. That's everything that comes inside our Xbox box. And now we're gonna unbox the console. Afterwards, we'll unbox the controller and do a review to see the differences between the controllers from both consoles, the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X. So now, let's get to the most exciting part of this unboxing. And remember, this video is sponsored by Darkoburi, so head over quickly to our online store where you can already find these amazing caps for yourself. So check it out and stay tuned because the final unboxing of the Xbox Series X console is coming up. Inside the manual that came with it, there's a app for you to download to your phone so you can link and properly set up your Xbox. So don't throw this away. We're going to do our own unboxing, but keep in mind that the instructions are here so everything goes smoothly. And on this side, we'll later be unboxing the controllers. All right, let's see. Here is our console. If you look closely, it says power your dreams. So you just need to move it down a little bit. If you look, here it is. It's a flap that you lift up and you simply remove this part. After that, we'll take off this part here where our console is completely and securely wrapped. Look, let's do it here, the lifting. Let's remove this power your dreams part. Let's put it over here so it doesn't get in our way too much. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the moment of truth, the ultimate moment. Here it is, dun 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 dun. Our incredibly powerful Xbox console. Remember that the unboxings we do are so you can see the size, the proportions, the shape, the figure. Everything we open is so you can decide if it's worth it for you, if you want to buy it. It's not a very cheap piece. This item costs 14,000 Mexican pesos in pre-sale. So it's not something you just have lying around to say, oh, I'll buy it and see if I like it or not. Now, the front part here of our Xbox has this small button. Do you see it? You can hear it there. It's to turn on the console. The second button, because our edition is the disc edition, is the Series X edition. The Series S edition is the digital edition, where you'll only be able to download content to your console. So here is the button to eject the disc, and on this side is the button we have here for our controller. If you look, we have a small button here. Press this little button here and the controller pairs with the console. Every time you switch consoles, you'll have to pair new controllers. And it only has on the right here a USB port. In case you have, again, going back to the controller, your controller connected, you can plug it in here so it charges or recharges. That's what this front USB port is for. Let's remember that now the controller charges with an out, with a Type-C cable, USB-C, which allows for faster charging. Here, if you look on this side, you can see the little feet. What are these little feet for? Therefore, when we want to lay our console down. So here we also have the built-in stand if we want to keep it upright, or these small round feet if we want to have it horizontal. You can decide how you want to have it. I have a bookshelf style cabinet, so my console will be facing forward to insert the disc, and all the connectors are on the back. If you remember, for the PlayStation 5 console, another difference is that the base came separately and you had to force it in a bit, like it had to be slotted in. This one already has it built in and it can be removed. If you notice, even if you apply a little pressure, obviously, not too much, so you don't break it, it doesn't come off. Let's take a look here. This part of the box just has Xbox here. The entire texture here is completely smooth. You know how on the PlayStation we had another difference where it also came with engravings? Here it doesn't. And on the back, we're gonna have all the accessories you can attach to your console. Here's where the ventilation is. And I want to remind you, and I advise you again, that if you place it in a very enclosed space, leave a little bit of room. If the space ends here, leave it so it can breathe. Why? So the console doesn't overheat, especially when you're playing for long hours. For example, with Assassin's Creed, I play 7 or 8 hours straight, so the console obviously tends to get hot. So back here, let's take a look. We have the Ethernet port, 2 USB ports, storage here, so you can expand it. You can add another terabyte to your Xbox, and then just the HDMI cable and the power supply, which is this little cable here. So the design of the console is very simple here. If you look here at the front, with the, like it showed on the box, it has the design with all the little circles and the green part here in the center. And look, if you look at it closely, it looks black, but on the inside, that's where you can see that little green color I mentioned. And the best part of the consoles is obviously not the console itself. Right now we're gonna show you some videos of which games are coming to this platform. Watch Dogs has already been confirmed, of course, and we're also gonna have the one that came on the box, which is Halo. Assassin's Creed couldn't be left out either for this impressive and powerful console. Stay tuned as we reveal more about these exciting titles. And maybe they'll surprise us by releasing, of course, the Gears of War games that we love so much. So, after seeing all the cinematics from those video games, you tell me, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer PlayStation? Do you prefer Xbox? Do you prefer Nintendo? Leave a comment, write to us, and let us know which one you like best. And now, let's set the console aside for a moment, shall we? To do the unboxing of our controllers. And here it came with a simple controller. It included batteries, but it didn't come with an extra charging cable for the controller because it used regular batteries. But let's do the unboxing and compare this controller with the Xbox One X controller. Now, for the controller unboxing, I have to tell you, I bought it on pre-order at Game Planet, and the surprise was that, for example, for the PlayStation, the controllers only came in one color. Here I had the chance to choose from several colors. Here is the Shock Blue. We have the Carbon Black here, Ive. You look. This carbon black color, and we have this one, which is robot white. So we have 3 color versions, and here I already have my controller that comes with the console, and here are the specifications that our controller will have. On this other side, there are just some accessories, the barcode, and without further delay, let's do the unboxing. If you notice, it pulls downwards. A lot of times we get a little wild and try to open it, but if you look, you just lift it up It was the same as with the console. You lift it up and out comes our controller. It comes with the same batteries here, Duracell, which are not for sale. And you have to lift this part here. For what? To take out what's inside. Like I mentioned, you get an Xbox Game Pass code here. And honestly, I'm gonna give it to the first person who manages to see it carefully. I'm leaving it here for you to win. Redeem it here on Darkoburi, I'm giving it away to you. And right now, if you want, I'll give away the second one that comes in the other controller. And here you have all the controller specifications, the guide, and our warranty policy. Let's take a look at the controller. The controller doesn't change. On the top part, if you notice, here's our Xbox logo. When you press it, obviously, that's when you turn it on. Or you use the button up here when you want to pair it with the console. That's what's great, you turn on the controller and the console automatically turns on as well. Here we have our two joysticks. This part of the joystick is a bit thicker. And here we can see that it includes a new accessory, a new control. We're gonna do a review with others in a moment. So they say this one is for if you want to take screenshots, share them, or do your streaming. So let's see what features it has. The difference with the PlayStation controller is that PlayStation already included the microphone button here. It already came with the controller itself as a microphone, which this one does not. And another thing I don't like so much is what I mentioned before. You have to open the back cover and put in the batteries, which are included, of course. But on PlayStation, the controller has an internal battery, which means it's always rechargeable. The downside of this is that you can't just throw the batteries in the trash because they are quite polluting. So we have to take care of our environment. Here we have our classic buttons, X, Y, B, A, and here the colors match the controller itself. If you notice, let's do a comparison. The colors are here, and they're the same colors as on our controller. So here it is. And on the back, we have the buttons here. If you notice, this part is already textured. What for? So you can get a better grip here. And the button doesn't slip, especially when you're running in FIFA or any other game or another game where you're aiming and shooting like in some shooter games. So now they have the grip here. You can feel the texture. I'll show you a close-up of it. And here, since it's a shock blue edition, it comes with a color contrast, white. So here is our color, our pad. Now, it's not just the D-pad itself, but it comes with this integrated circle to make movements, especially the ones down here. When you do your combos that require a half moon motion to one side or the other, now you can do it a little more easily. And on this side, we're gonna compare it with two other controllers that I brought from home, since my Xbox is at home. The last Xbox I bought was the Xbox One, but the special Gears of War edition. Like I said, this is the Xbox, the last one that came out for the Gears of War special edition, Xbox One X and Xbox One S. Let's not get confused with the Series X and Series S. It's complicated because they just wanted to add series in the middle, but let's get on with the review. If you notice, it's the same size, the same proportions, nothing changes. They have the same position here, but this one, even though one has colors, it doesn't give me an indicator like here in the middle, which tells me, look, these are the traditional colors. As I mentioned here, the D-pad now comes more with the circle, whereas before the D-pad was just here, so you had to press 2 at the same time to do the diagonal down part for any of them. And here, you don't have to anymore. Here you just press down here, and if you notice, you can hear it. So combos might end up being a little cheaper for us. And the other difference is that back here, the only part that has texture is this one, but our new controller has texture all over the back for a better grip. So when you hold your controller, you already have a better grip here. And the last difference is this little button in the middle that's included. We have our select and start buttons, and here there was nothing. If you look, it's just a Gears of War logo from the last one, number 5, that came out, and here it has this share button, our power button. In both cases, it has the charging button and our sync button to connect with the console. And the other thing I was telling you here, I bought a special Xbox accessory for my controllers. Try to use things that are actually from the same brand. Why? Because I bought one over here that was from another brand, not a knockoff, just a different brand, than when you insert it in the back, the cover wouldn't close properly. You have to force it shut and force it open, and that ends up damaging your controller. This is a charger that lets you avoid using regular or rechargeable batteries. Why? If your battery is running low, you just connect it to the console and it starts charging. So As they say, it's almost plug and play, just connect it and play. It fits in very easily. You close the cover on your controller again, and it fits perfectly here. Let's do it. It's all set. And a very good friend of mine, Jesus Valderas, thank you so much, made me this custom Darkoburi controller, and I told him it's awesome, it's perfect, with a Dragon Ball Toro symbol. As you can see, here's our Goku. And let's not forget, as I said, it was originally an Xbox controller. They just painted it, customized it, and like I said, I do have my special Xbox plug and play accessory. So I'll show you the 4 controllers for comparison. They're actually the same size, and another advantage is that this Xbox is backward compatible with these controllers. If you don't want to spend money on controllers, thank God Microsoft and Xbox said it's compatible with this one. The only thing is you won't be able to use the new feature, but aside from that, everything else stays the same. Same controllers, same design, and you can link them to this so you don't have to spend more on controllers. And you know this here because you're watching the unboxing on the Darkoburi channel. Remember to check out all our social media. You really help us out if you visit each and every one and leave us that awesome like. Subscribe, like, share, give us a heart, do whatever you want, show us some love. Leave us your comments, drop all your feedback. What else do you want us to unbox? Because we're here on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Medium. So leave us all your comments, give us all your reactions. What else do you want us to unbox? And you already know, Darkoburi, peace out.